Tate?
Yes?
What's happening, man?
How you doing?
It's so good to talk to you. You are on one of my favorite shows in the whole world.
Oh, good.
So, last season, we're on with
Talking
Tate.
about Friends, right?
What's that?
You're talking about Friends, right?
No. I liked Friends.
No.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was okay. It's no damages, though, I'll tell you that.
It's no damages. I know. There were just a couple people that were into that. I almost forgot you were on Friends.
Yeah, so did I, actually.
Yeah. I didn't want to ask you about that because that would come with some other uncomfortable questions. So I wanted to go straight to damages.
Thank you.
Okay, good. I know you're relieved now.
Yeah.
Okay, so now last season, it left off with Frobisher, the great Ted Danson.
Yeah.
I knew at the end there was no way he was going to die.
Yeah, well, he's still crawling around, so.
Right.
Find him, we pick him up in the same sort of spot.
Right. Now, your character is back, but there's a couple of more layers to your character. I read that you're going to be directing a couple of episodes this season.
Yeah, I directed 2 episodes. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And how is that different? Because I was reading that, and it was funny. I was reading this article, I can't remember where, about how you only get the script pages minutes before or hours before.
Yeah, sometimes, you just, they give them to you, that the night before. It's pretty intense. I mean, if you think it's intense, like, as an actor to like, have to learn your lines really quickly, as a director, it's even worse, like, because you're just in charge of everything, and you really can't know a lot until you actually see the dialogue. So, but, these guys, that's the downside. The good side is that every time the pages come in, they're amazing, and we're all, like, gripped. We're like, oh, my God. We're like the audience. We're like, really? We get to do that? Oh, so that's going to happen? Oh, that's unbelievable. We really all sort of, they come in late, the pages, but we always love them. So.
Well, and I have always thought this, and then I read an article that they were comparing Damages in many ways to Lost because the characters are all have so much depth. It's a lot of it's flashbacks, and you wonder how they can carry it on. But the writers are coming up with ways to keep this interesting, just like Lost. Are you a fan of Lost?
You know what? I feel terrible. I hear Lost is an amazing show, but I never really caught it. Unfortunately, I don't know why. I just always missed it. But one of these days, I will get the box set and just rip through it because I hear. But you're right. It's similar. It plays with time. It plays with it goes back and forth, and it reveals information. Like we're sort of solving mysteries slowly, and it's a real. They're just super clever. The producers and writers are just super clever people.
So well done. It's so well done. It's such a good show. And now this season, some great new casting. William Hurt. So is it true that this is the first TV show he's done?
I think so. Yeah. I think it is the first TV show he's done. First one he's sort of been had done several episodes on, and it's amazing to have him on there. I mean, especially because he has such great chemistry with Glenn. He plays this sort of mysterious character from her past. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's gone on between them, but something funky has. And, those two just have such an old history together that chemistry is great between them.
Well, the chemistry with her and Ted Danson, she is just amazing. And her character is, as Patty Hughes, is so intense.
Yeah, so intense.
I mean, I'm intimidated by her, but it seems like in person, she is nothing like Patty at all.
She isn't, of course. She's a total sweetheart. She giggles. She's fun to work with. I mean, it's amazing. And then she just turns it on for the cameras, and you're just like, I've personally never really worked with an actor who is just so perfectly melded for the role. I mean, they are just born within each other. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's true that I thought this was really funny because the show is very intense. It's very nerve-wracking, and sometimes I have to even cover my eyes because it can be a little violent.
Yeah.
But Glenn Close brings her dogs on the set.
Yeah, almost every shot you see Glenn in, especially in the office stuff.
Yeah.
There are 2 dogs at her feet, just lounging around and scratching themselves.
I saw her on Conan O'Brien eating a dog biscuit one time.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Is that something?
We sit around eating dog biscuits off camera all the time.
Now, we're on with Tate Donovan. Were you nervous during the writer's strike? Because that was really what delayed the series. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a bummer. We wanted to sort of come back earlier and get back to work, but we had to sit around and the writer's strike was just difficult for everybody.
Okay, well, we're happy to have you back. The show is just so great. I mean, Daniel Zellman has done a fantastic job, and gosh, I mean, I know it's going to be what's going to be bigger and better this season that may surprise us. Can you give us any twists, or do you not know?
Well, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I know obviously we shot 12 of the 13 episodes, so I kind of have an idea of what goes on. But it's even like I think we all felt like, okay, that was super dark and super complicated. Maybe this year will be a little bit less dark and a little bit less harder on an audience.
Right.
And they went in the opposite direction. They made it even more complicated and even more darker. And the corruption is now way into the, it's just everywhere now. And it's just, it's really tricky and really fun stuff. And it's wild. I tell you, the great excitement of this year is watching Rose Byrne and her character, Ellen. She really comes into her own. It's sort of like she was sort of like a fish out of water the first season, right? Law firm,
right?
And now you just wait until you see what she does.
And that poor woman's, her character has been through hell. I mean, she's had this horrible, job experience. Her fiance gets murdered. She's wrapped up in all this mess, and she is a great actress. I mean, that's the way it's shot too. It is so dark. Even the makeup and the lighting, everything. Everybody is so sullen.
Yeah, I know. It's very dark place.
Now, what about, I was also reading about Ripped from the Headlines. Are they in season 3? I would think this whole Bernie Madoff story is going to be a great something to focus on maybe for another season.
Well, Bernie Madoff came in a little late in our season, but what's so funny is that it's sort of not ripped from the headlines, and yet it could be. There's just like the amount of corruption in these corporations is just insane, and that's what this whole show is about, and that's what Patty Hughes is always about. Ripping into these greedy corporate dudes, and this time it's an energy company.
Okay, so we got a little Enron.
It's more like sort of environmental abuse.
Okay.
It's but there's also, oddly enough, like a Wall Street trading scheme that is involved. It's similar to Bernie Madoff, even though we had no idea that it had a...
Isn't that amazing when that happens?
Yeah.
When that happened, you were like, wow, we were really thinking. I mean, it's a sad story, but definitely life imitating art or art imitating life, or...
yeah, it's funny.
By accident there.
Yeah.
We're excited for a great season of Damages. And Tate, you're terrific on the show. Have other lawyers come up to you and say, you make a great lawyer, or...
Well, it's funny, being in New York, there are a lot of lawyers, and a lot of people come up and are psyched. But, of course, it's not really a law show. I mean, it's sort of like takes place in that world.
Right.
And they sort of are, I think most lawyers are relieved that, they aren't going to end up dead, or, it's a pretty violent show, you know what I mean?
Or working for someone like Patty Hughes.
Yeah, they're glad that, they enjoy it. They enjoy the sort of intricacies of the plot, and the sort of intrigue of it all.
Well, I'm sure they're happy you made partner.
Yes. They were like, dude, come on, 10 years at the firm?
Exactly.
Balls, would you?
All right. Well, we look forward to watching Damages on Wednesday nights on FX. It's just a great show. And then they rerun it about a gazillion times. So anybody can catch it. And next time you come to Atlanta, give us a visit, because I know you'll remember this interview.
All right. Thank you.
Tate, great talking to you.
All right.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. That was good. If you watched Damages, you enjoyed that. Okay, I love how he wanted to talk about Friends, because, he dated Jennifer Aniston. They were engaged. And I didn't want to ask about that, but he did kind of open the door. I probably should have, but whatever. So there you go. Tate Donovan.